So today I'm going to clear up a whole lot of common misconceptions real quick. First off, I know I'm very well aware of the fact that I am an African American female. Very aware of it. There's never been a day in my life I've not been aware of it. I've been discriminated against because I'm a woman. I've been discriminated against because I'm a woman of color. But on no day of any week of my life has my color been the first thing that's been out of my mouth as to why a situation is my problem. That's what my problem is. They discriminate against me because I'm black. I didn't get that job because I'm black. It rained today because I'm black. But that is why most of my friends now that I live in Huntington aren't of color. Because I got tired of being around people that every time we'd be talking about something that went wrong and happened, girl, they doing that shit because you black. Bitch, everything that happens ain't because you black, boo. Some shit, if you follow the entire thought process through, you realize maybe you wasn't qualified for that job. Maybe you might have done something to somebody that was in that position before you and they dropped it down and was like, hey, we can screw with them. You don't know, but sometimes it's real easy, especially when you carrying that chip on your shoulder like, it's because I'm black. Nah, boo. Sometimes it's just because you're a fucking asshole. People just don't fucking like you. It wouldn't matter if you're purple. Sometimes the way you enter a situation dictates how that situation ends. Watch this. This is not me bragging on any day of the week because I should have fucking went to jail that day. I should have fucking been a news break story. Y'all should have been protesting for me because this situation could have turned out anyway, but the way that it did. It could have turned out anyway. Back in the day in my 20s, I had a really good friend who owned a business and also was a piercer, and then decided he wanted to supplement his income because he had met the love of his life. She had a kid and he was trying to help her get some shit done too. So he had a friend come to him that was like, look, dude, I know you out of the game, but can you help me out for a couple weeks? Sure, bruh. I mean, I make money, you make money. Cool deal. So time went on and he remembered how cool it was to make extra cash like this real quick and not having to move. They came to you. Well, this was also a time in my life that I really loved to party and I really had a shit ton of disposable income and could. I also was enlisted in the United States Air Force at the 130th in Charleston. On the day in particular I'm about to tell you about, I had just left base. I was on my way home from a weekend-long drill. I had called my boy and said, hubby ain't working, I ain't working, and I got 3 fucking days off. I'm coming to see you. And he said, listen, before we start talking business, when I do see you, we have to chit chat. I was like, okay, whatever. That's cool. I got time. He said, and thanks for that conversation we had the other day. You're right. You're right. Own your shit. Be real. I told Sarah everything. And you know what? She didn't take it as hard as I thought. And see, what he was talking about was she knew that months prior to this, he had helped a friend out and was holding drugs in the house. What she didn't know was he was still doing it and he no longer was helping a friend. He was just now selling again. And I told him weeks before that, dude, just be honest and let the chips fall where they may. Well, he did and they did. Well, then on this same day, a good friend of his who he had lost contact with, he somehow found. And it was because of MySpace. Social media was starting to ramp up. And him and that friend had started chit-chatting or whatever, so they had decided to get together and go to dinner. So while I was on the phone with him, he said, listen, I'm meeting my boy I haven't seen in years. Me, him, and Sarah are going to dinner. He said, so whenever you come by, like I said, make sure you have time because we have to talk, but I got you for your weekend getaway. I went to the gym, so which means I changed out of my fatigues. I left base, went to the gym. I left the gym, drove to his house. Now, my friend was white, okay? And he wasn't just my drug dealer. We legit was friends before he started selling drugs again. Like, we would hang out, play video games, go run around. I'd work at his detail shop. He put my sound system in my car. He tinted windows in my very first car I bought myself. My parents didn't buy my first car. I worked and bought it and paid the insurance. And that was at 18, side note. But anyways, we were running around peeps. He was like my brother. He fulfilled that position of the brother that wasn't in my life. And Sarah had become like a sister to me, okay? So I'm driving up their road after I leave the gym by myself. And I got sick from head to toe. I mean, I got hot. And I justified it away. Oh, I just left the gym. I didn't really eat well today. Blah, 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 blah. I look in my rearview mirror and there's a car behind me, and to myself, and then I actually kind of giggled. I was like, I wonder if that's the DEA. Then I get on his road. And nothing on his road looked normal. It was a day about like what time it is today. But nothing seemed normal. Everything felt off. And I got out of the car, and this car went by me as I went to cross the street. Well, I stopped and I let it pass. And in that passing, something said, get his movie out of the back of your car and take it in. Another side note, that movie had been in my car for 2 months. He actually had let me borrow it. I forgot to return it. Then him and his wife had all went out somewhere, and he picked it up, put his phone down, texted me, and forgot it. 2 months this video had been in my car, okay? But as this car that, again, I'm chuckling, thinking, what if that's the DEA? Blacked out, fucking black as hell, blunt windows, can't see shit. So I got the movie, and I went and knocked on his door. And that house was calm and quiet, so I thought. Until a man in a ski mask who was white answered the door, and you could see all the chaos and the DEA in his home. I wish I was lying right now. The man looked at me and said, what business do you have here? I said, I'm just here to see my boy and return a movie and get another one. What are you doing? He said, I'm going to need you to come in here, ma'am. And without hesitation, I said, yes, sir. And I could see what I assumed was my boy's friend that he ain't seen in umpteen years, sitting with just fear and panic and everything on his face. And so I sit down, and the only thing I have on me is this movie. Thank God you can't arrest me for what I was intending to come there to do. Thank God that I didn't walk into this situation with an attitude or a chip on my shoulder. Because I'm going to tell you right now, my boy's house and what I saw with my own 2 eyes was full that day of white, DEA, and a couple local boys. But there wasn't a speck of pepper in that house but me. So they left me and the friend to sit there, and I looked at the friend. I said, well, you must be the friend from long ago. And he said, you must be the sister from another mister. I said, mm-hmm. I said, what a day to hang out with him, though, huh? He said, right? Should have picked a different day to catch up. I'm like, should have picked a different day to bring a movie back. But fuck, here we are. Cop comes back in the ski mask and says to me, do you have any identification, ma'am? And I said, sir, the only identification I have on me is in my car above my visor. And if you don't want me to go out there and get it, you're more than welcome. Here's the keys above the driver's visor. He sent a guy out to get it. He continued to talk to me, and he said, why are you here? I said, like I told you when you answered the door, that's my boy. That's my sister from another mister, his wife. And we hang out all the time. I was like, his neighbor over there, we all cook out together. I said, so why I'm here is honestly none of your concern, because it's not to break the law, sir. And you know what he looked at me and he said? Wait right there. He walked outside, because the whole time I'm speaking to him, he's looking me up and down. So he noticed, I'm sure, my shorts that said USAF. He came back in and he said, I can't prove you were here for any other reason, and I don't care, because you've been nothing but cordial. He said, but I know you. I actually know who your commander is. You understand pay grade, things above your rank, right, ma'am? I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, good. Have a great day. I guess I got out of that situation because I was black, huh? No. The way that sometimes you walk into it is the way that other people proceed through it. I'm not saying that we don't have some out of fucking control cops out there. But what I'm saying is, it is time for the black community to stop every time something goes wrong in your life saying, it's because I'm black. Honey, sometimes it's just because you're a bitch.